From everyday Aussies to local councils to the nation's biggest companies, in recent years, many have been turning their backs on celebrating Australia Day on January 26. But now, as the controversial date approaches, there are signs the tide is turning.
Oh, I think it's a great result.
A new poll by the Institute of Public Affairs is kicking up a storm.
I think it's a real reminder of the fact that we live in the greatest country in the world.
The findings?
There is a massive vibe shift over our National Day.
Nearly 70% agreeing Australia Day should remain on January 26, up from 63% last year. The vibe shift even larger among younger Aussies, 52% saying they back the date, a 10% jump.
I think it's a good day where it is.
I quite like Australia Day myself.
I'm actually not surprised to see that percentage of people in Australia say that we should keep the date in place.
But some are surprised.
What we're finding is that more people are engaging in the history of this country through a First Nations lens. They're wanting to learn more about First Nations culture and history.
It doesn't sit well with me. I feel like they should change the day.
I'm happy to change the day as long as we've got something to celebrate.
To be honest, I think most Australians are pretty sick of this debate that we have every single year.
But each year, the debate rears its ugly head.
It's like the public holiday, basically.
2024, 81 local councils chose not to host citizenship ceremonies on Australia Day, up from just 4 councils the year before.
Is there any good reason why councils should hold it on Australia Day?
Well, my council holds them on Australia Day. And on Australia Day, I'll be here in Canberra at the national event.
Would we reinstate a requirement for councils to hold citizenship ceremonies on Australia Day? You bet.
Aussie companies backflipping as the tide turns. Woolworths announcing this month it's bringing back its Australia Day merch.
People are over having elites tell them how to run their country, deciding to make changes from an executive level.
So as the debate over January 26 kicks off, is the vibe shifting yet again?
The history of this country started long before January 26, 1788, and we invite more people to learn First Nations history and make that something that all Australians can truly celebrate, because that's the story of us.
I think we should stick with it.
Probably should change the date.
I think that poll's probably right. I mean, it's only 1,000 people. It was done by the Conservative company, you know, the
think tank. Yeah.
think tank.
Which would be inclined to keep the date.
Yeah. So, but I think young people probably are starting to change a bit. Post The Voice, I think a lot of people thought, well, I'm sick of being told what to do. Australia Day's the 26th of January, why don't we leave it? I mean, there's a very uniquely Australian thing is going to happen at the end of this January. Australia Day's on Sunday the 26th. What other country then has another day off to celebrate the one the day before?
Aussie,
We love it, don't we?
So we're capable of changing the date as long as there's a day off in that change.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, it seems very odd to me. You're not going to have the 4th of July
On the 7th.
On the 7th or whatever.
Yeah. Why has it become such a problem to move? I mean, it sort of feels like it's gone from being just about the date to being, it feels like ashamed to be an Australian. I think there's a pushback against that. Like, I don't feel ashamed to be Australian, do you?
No, but I actually think that what you saw in the push to change the date was, and still is, like it hasn't gone away, but a couple of different camps. I think there were those who, I love my country, I feel uncomfortable about celebrating on that day, let's find another date.
Yep.
And the problem has been, over the past 10 years, would you say, we've been having that debate, no other dates really emerged.
Yeah.
And so at that point, and in the aftermath of the Voice referendum, I think that was a key moment, I think it's kind of I guess you go back to the default. And then I think there was a camp that was like, no, I'm angry about the way the whole country was established. And that's always been a minority. But I think the problem is that the whole change the date debate has been turned into an argument about the legitimacy of the nation itself, and then people have a backlash to that.
I don't know. I feel like we all would love to be united by something, whether it be a day. Maybe we could change it to the birth date of the guy who invented chicken salt. Another good South Australian boy.
I thought you were going to say Steve Price.
I thought you were going to say, why don't we have it on the 13th of January?
Oh, yeah.
Pricey invented chicken salt. Awesome.